friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Excel Freak. In this video module, what we'll try and understand will be how do I go ahead and split any value within a cell based on a delimiter, however with the help of text functions. Normally we can do the same thing with the help of our data tab and then moving into text to column feature. But rather, if we don't want to do that and we want to use formulas, then what is going to be our approach is something that we'll discuss here. Before we move into the formula and how do we go about the entire process, first let's understand when do we use text to column and when should we be using the formulas. Text to column is apt when I have the complete range of data wherein I want the values to be split based on any kind of delimiter. However, if my data is incremental in nature, which means today I have first 100 rows and tomorrow additional 100 rows will get added in the same spreadsheet, then in case of my text to column, I will need to repeat the steps again and again. However, if I write in a formula that can split these values, I don't have to do any such repetitive task. Once my formula is written, all I need to do is just drag that formula for the entire column. So that's how the formulas are more useful when we are working with incremental data. Now let's look at what are the different text functions that we'll be using here. For that, we need to first identify what is going to be our delimiter. If I take column F, which in this case is a person's full name, which means it will have a person's first name as well as the last name. And any case, this first name and last name will be having a space in between. Now that space is the common cutting that runs across all these columns for me or all these cells for me, and this will act as a delimiter. So what I'll be doing is I will take this delimiter as a center point for myself, and I will find what is there on the left hand side and what is there on the right hand side. And that's how we'll be able to get our first name of the individual and the last name of the individual. First, let's start with identifying the first name. So this is where I have the first name. Now, the first name is towards the left hand side of the cell. So I'll be using the left function over here. Left function says the text and then the number of characters that I want from the left hand side. Text for me is the cell F4 where Chandan space Gupta is written. Now the number of characters that I want to move, I don't know that number, and that number is going to change with every cell that I'm going to pick. So I need to make it variable or flexible in nature. For this, I will use my find function. Find function will help me in identifying the position of space in this entire cell. So if I go ahead and use find, I can find the position of space, and that's why I've written space within quotes. And this is the text where I want to find it from. Now, let's look at this. Our space is at the 8th position. My first name is from 1 to 7. So which means from the left hand side in the cell F4, I want to find the position of space which is coming out to be 8. Minus 1 is the number of characters that I want to see. So this find formula will give me the answer as 8. Minus 1 is what I'll write in addition. So left function for the cell F4, the position of the space minus 1 is the number of characters that I want to see from the left hand side. Now if I go ahead and hit enter, this will give me the first name of the individual. And what I need to do is just drag this down, and this will do it for all the consecutive cells over here. So it's very easy to find anyone's first name or split a cell and find the first characters from the left hand side based on a delimiter. Now, if I need to find the last name of the individual, now I can't do right and then find the position of space. Let's say this entire name, Chandan Gupta, this is 8 plus 5, which is 13 characters. Now, if I say from the right hand side, this is the word which is F4, and and I want the position of space, which is at the 8th position. I want 8 characters from the right hand side. No, that's not the correct thing. Ideally, I just want the last 5 characters. So in this case, I'll find the total length of this cell minus the position of the spacebar. So let's do something like this is equal to write. I select the cell F4, comma, and then I will find the total length with the help of len function. And you can refer to my video on text functions to understand the left, right, and len function in detail. Minus find, and again I'll find the position of space over here, comma, again the cell, and I'll close the bracket. Now this is giving me the last name of the individual, and I can drag it down to find the everybody's last name. So this is quite easy, though at the first blow you may feel that this is quite tricky or tedious, but please understand, if your data is incremental, you can't be going ahead and applying text to column again and again every time your data gets updated. However, in this case, when you're writing a formula, you don't have to worry about any such thing. Even if there are any changes over here, so let's say I change this to Chandan Kumar, that is automatically getting updated because everything is linked and is relative to the cells that we have selected. So do try out both these functions, both these formulas. If you face issues, just feel free to write into me at msexcel.freak@gmail.com. You can also use the comment section below and feed in your feedback or any queries that you may have. Also, please